Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to Manifestation with me. I'm so excited to have you guys this morning. It is a new month. It's May. Mm, mm, It's a new month. The weather is beautiful. Birds are chirping. We are so blessed to be here this morning. So, yeah, I had decided that I was going to do this May reset with everybody. And yesterday was May 1st, and here we are on May 2nd. But that's neither here nor there. I'm so happy to be chatting with you guys this morning. I had an idea of what I thought this was going to be. And then this morning I woke up and I was like, I want to talk about something else. So this morning we are talking about the importance of having an attitude of gratitude. I bet you thought I was going to get on here and tell you, child, this is what you got to do to manifest that money in life. And in so many ways, you actually have to really have gratitude in order to manifest new money, new love, health, whatever it is that you're looking for. So anyway, let's get into it. So I say first things first, in order to have an attitude of gratitude is to be able to honestly and truly recognize the abundance that is all around you. It's so easy to wake up in the morning. We don't say thank you. We yelling at the kids or we checking our phones to see what's happening on Instagram. And before you know it, we've been up for an hour and we've missed so many very important, vital things that we could take a moment to be grateful for, right? So something that really that I've held on to probably for the last like 5 or 6 years is there's this book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And she's also the author of The Secret, which you may or may not know her, which talks about the law of attraction. And in the book, The Magic, she uses the scripture Matthew 13:12. And that's pretty much the premise of the entire book. And the scripture reads, the original scripture reads, whoever has will be given more and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And she decided to add the word gratitude into that scripture. So I'll read it with gratitude. Whoever has gratitude will be given more and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what they have will be taken from them. So I just love that, right? Because I found myself in situations where I'm asking for more, but yet complaining about the things that I do have. And before you know it, boom. So I'll give you the example. You can have a car and your car might be shitty, for lack of a better word. It might have like a little dummy tie on the front. The AC is finicky. The radio be going in and out, but yet it still gets you from point A to point B. But if you spend your day, every time you get into it, you're fussing about the AC, fussing about the radio, haven't gotten the oil change or whatever, and then you get in a car accident, now what? Now we're put in a position where we may not even have the money to go and buy a new car, So it's important that even when life situations aren't ideal or aren't what we expect them to be, that we still take the time out to actually show gratitude for the things that we have. When it comes to gratitude, the first thing I think that we all should be doing is taking care of our shit. If we want to ever show God, show source energy that we are ungrateful, is by us not taking care of our shit. And what I mean by that is mind, body, soul, spirit, financially, whatever. Like, it's really easy to allow the things that are happening in this world. And unfortunately, it's like social media is like a blessing and a curse, right? It can show you so many beautiful things, but then it can show you so many negative things. And before you know it, it's like a black hole. You're sucked into who said this on Facebook, what's trending on Instagram and Twitter. And before you know it, your mind is no longer yours. It belongs to everything around you, all the situations around you, right? And it's the same way with our bodies. If we're not eating properly, not staying hydrated, not even taking the simple steps of working out, even if that's just walking to the damn mailbox, we don't do that for our soul and our spirit. We're not taking the time out, taking that quiet time out to meditate, that quiet time out to either read scripture or just fulfill ourselves with any video or song or conversation that's going to help enhance our soul. And I'm gonna get on finances, because listen, when you feel like you don't have enough money, it's so easy to want to just completely ignore everything as it relates to your finances. Oh, you know what? The money just gonna come. I'm not gonna look at that bank account. I'm not gonna open up that letter that came in the mail. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. But whenever we negate the responsibility of all these things, what we're telling God, what we're telling our source, is that I don't care about any of this stuff. So how could we ever get blessed with more if we're not taking the time out to really go over all of these things and be grateful by handling the responsibility that comes with each of these things, right? Each of these areas of our lives. So if you want to show God and yourself that you're grateful for what you have, really sit down and meditate on what I'm saying. Like, think about areas where we could be doing better, because I'm sure we can all be doing better in an area or two or three, and that's myself included, you know. And another thing I want you guys to remember is you are what you think as it relates to gratitude. So, you know, we live in this 3D world where we can't help but to see what's right in front of us. You know, we can't help but to see the fact that we're at a job that we may not like. We can't help but to see that we might be in a relationship that is just not going that well. You know, we can't help but to see all the crime and the murder and everything that's happening around us. But there are certain things that we have a power over. Like you can't control the music that's playing in Walmart, but you can control how much you actually watch the news. You can control how the conversations that you have with people. There are certain things that you can control. So sometimes you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what am I actually feeding myself? What am I actually focusing on? Where are my thoughts actually dwelling? And one of my favorite books ever, The Science of Getting Rich. It's a little passage in here. There's a whole chapter on gratitude. This is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wallace. And he says, but the value of gratitude does not consist solely in getting you more blessings in the future, right? Because we don't want to just walk around practicing gratitude because we feel like if we practice gratitude, we're going to get something back from it. That is the universal law. Whatever you put out, you will get back. But, you know, you want to practice gratitude because you genuinely are grateful for the things that you have. So anyway, he says, but the value of gratitude does not consist solely in getting you more blessings in the future. Without gratitude, you cannot long keep from dissatisfied thought regarding things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with dissatisfaction upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. You fix attention upon the common, the ordinary, the poor, and the squalid, and the mean, and your mind takes the form of these things. Then you will transmit these forms or mental images to the formless, the subconscious mind. And the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean will come to you. To permit your mind to dwell upon the inferior is to become inferior and to surround yourself with inferior things. On the other hand, to fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best and to become the best. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. So as it relates to wanting to get rich or be more abundant or whatever, it's the things that we focus our attentions on that give us the life that we're living, right? I'm sure if you are a part of this group, if you purchase the journal and you believe in manifestation, you are a believer and you understand, or you're coming into the understanding that you really are what you think. If your external world is not reflecting what your heart wants, then more than likely it's a reflection of what's going on in your mind. And we gather information from our environment, our experience, and our education or lack thereof. And if we're not conscious of wanting to put a filter on all of those things that are negative or are all of those things that we do not want to be, that is what we will become. So when it comes to being grateful, like I said, you don't want to spend so much time focusing on what you see on the 3D plane, because for a lot of us, this 3D plane, this world that we live in, is not a reflection or can sometimes not be a reflection of the things that we wish to have. So it's really important that we take time out and focus on what we're grateful for, so that what we are focusing on, we can receive more of. You feel me? So I have a couple of tips on how to help you get better into alignment with your gratitude. And first things first is, thank you all who purchased an On Paper with Thoughts Become Things journal. This is a self-guided journal. And a couple of days ago, my cousin was like, well, how am I supposed to use it? I just bought it because I wanted to support you. So here, cousin, here you go. First things first, make a list of things that you're grateful for. It sounds so simple and kind of like, just like, oh my gosh, whatever, Neira. But seriously, I have been a journaler for years, and I could, hold on, let me show you guys 1 second. This little beat up journal, I have many journals, by the way, but this one in particular, my friend Joe got me years ago. Shout out to Joe. And when I was reading that book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, it's like a 28-day daily practices for 28 days of things that you can do to generate more gratitude into your life. And towards the back of the journal is whenever I started actually writing for those 28 days. And it just made me so excited, because when I think back on how my life has turned out so far, it's because I think it's because I really do take the time out to really consciously think about the things that I'm grateful for. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you have a journal, whether you have my journal or someone else's journal, it does not matter. Or even if you don't have a journal at all, a tip and a good practice is to sit down and list the things that you're grateful for before you go to bed. Personally, I write in a blue ink pen, and I love to write them down, but there are days that I don't feel like writing, and I'll just lay in bed and I'll start rattling off things that I'm grateful for. But I think it's really key to do it right before you go to bed, because the way you go to bed is the way you're gonna wake up in the morning. More than likely. You know how the old folks say, don't get in an argument or don't fight before you go to bed. And it's the truth, because the way that you fall asleep is the way that you are going to wake up in the morning. Something special happens. It's like, I think like your brain goes into like beta when you're first falling asleep. It's kind of like this dreamlike, half awake, half asleep type thing. And then when actually you fully fall asleep, you go into delta. Is it beta and delta, or is it theta and delta? It's something like that. You should look it up. But it's really important to be mindful of the things that you're listening to, you're watching before you go to bed anyway. So why not make a list of things that you're grateful for before you go to sleep at night, right? And a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna write 10. And before you know it, 10 has turned into 20, because throughout a 24-hour period, there are so many things that you could truly sit down and take time to be grateful for. I feel like it naturally helps to raise your vibration. And again, yeah, write it down. All right, so the next thing is stop damn complaining. Oh, stop complaining and stop listening to other people that be complaining, and stop engaging in conversations where people be complaining. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with venting, right? There's nothing, because we all go through it. We all go through it. But you got to give yourself like a certain amount of days, and then you just got to let that shit go. And it's the same thing like with your friends. They call you with that bullshit. Give them a certain amount of minutes and then change the subject. You don't even have to tell them stop complaining. You just find a way to change the subject, because before you know it, you're listening to all that in your ear, and before you know it, you ain't here fussing at your kids about some shit that they don't even need to be fussed at for. You know what I mean? So stop complaining. Complaining is the complete opposite of being grateful. And something that I've learned is, if you're not consciously practicing to be more grateful, you're being ungrateful. That's just what it is at the end of the day. If you're not consciously practicing gratitude, then you are not being grateful. And it's no shot to you or me or anything. It just is what it is. Gratitude is that one thing that you can always be doing more of. You can always be taking more time to say thank you, which leads me right into my next thing. Just say thank you more. You know, like I said, a lot of times our current situation, our current life may not be exactly what we want it to be. But the more that we can exercise saying thank you, the more we put ourselves in vibrational alignment to that which we say that we want to attract or that we want to bring into our lives. So just practice saying thank you as you're driving, and especially it's a beautiful time of the year. As you're looking at the trees and you see all of the leaves on the trees, say thank you. As you feel a breeze that run past your face, say thank you. As you listen to your children laugh, instead of fussing at them for being too loud, say thank you. Because whether you want to believe it or not, it's some mother somewhere that wishes they could hear their baby laugh. So it's the little things. It's the little things. Life is, and the things that we're able to attract in our lives are a whole bunch of little things. We are so fascinated on wanting the big things to come fast and quick that we overlook just the little things. And I think God just wants us to be able to recognize that in our lives a little bit more. And really just take that time out. So I hope that this video helped you. If you love it, like it, share it with a friend. Go back and rewatch it as often as you can. Down below, leave a comment of one thing that you're grateful for or 10 things that you're grateful for. And I just want to know, the more and more that you continue to write it down, please let me know how your life begins to change, because it will. I promise you it will. Let me tell you something. I ain't capping. Ain't no capping and rapping. Whatever the young kids say. I am here to share what I know. I don't talk about shit that I don't know. I don't talk about shit that I haven't been through. So this is something that is really, really, really important. If you want to be able to attract more love, more abundance, more money into your life, you start off by being grateful with what you have. Because again, let me go back to my little note. Hold on. Whoever has gratitude will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what they have will be taken from them. And the last thing we want is to be on that side where shit is getting taken from us, y'all. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful May 2nd. Happy Monday. May this day be great and productive. Go forth and be great. Remember, you are what you think. Happy manifesting.